Well, I woke up this morning from a reoccurring dream.
Hello, people. I am Jaby KOAY, joined again by SYNTELL KOAY.
Yo, again? Yes, it's your boy.
We are looking at episode 4 of Money Heist from season 1. This episode is called Caballo de Troya.
Caballo de Troya.
So, if you guys are watching this on YouTube, you're going to see a cut-down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. However, if you want to watch the whole thing with us, uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/JabyKOAY, where you can watch the whole series with us, but you will need your own Netflix subscription so you can open up the show in an adjacent window to our reaction, and it's like you're watching it with two of your favorite pals from the internet. And if you're watching this on Patreon already, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, please, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Otherwise, you will be held hostage. Okay, here we go. Show her. She dead? Is she alive?
Nope. Shot to the side.
I told you.
Que no hay una puta gota de sangre.
Dispárame aquí, vamos. Dispárame la mano.
No digas tonterías, tío, no digas
Dispárame la
tonterías.
mano.
¡Mi puta vida!
Dispárame la mano.
¿En el hombro?
Vamos, dispárame la
Que el
mano.
hombro está muy cerca del pulmón. Que no puedo.
I'm glad somebody finally addressed that.
Something seems wrong. Oh my god, he is so smart, dude. He's like, something's wrong. That was a second shot, and it was much later. Something's wrong.
Way delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's so smart. I just love how that dude is written. He's so smart, it makes him scary.
2 disparos. ¿Te falta puntería o es que te ponen nervioso las rubias?
How in the world are you not writhing?
Hay una caldera de carbón en el sótano.
So, a gunshot goes off. What they need to address is the police reaction. Because surely that is audible from the outside.
Right. That's very true. That is very true. Yo, she's gangster. She got shot and just kind of just was able to just lay there like, I'm okay. You know something that always bothers me, and that is your lungs take up a massive amount of your chest, of your torso. Like they are huge.
Yeah.
And you always see in movies people getting shot here and here. I'm like, that's your lungs are in there. You know?
I didn't know
it's
that.
like, yeah, like your lungs cover all this, all the way down your back, all that. Like your lungs are massive.
I had no idea.
And that's why somebody finally said something. Be like, nah, man.
Well, this is a very detail-oriented show.
Paula.
Whoa.
She's got notes everywhere.
Ya no vivo en Almazán, vivo en Madrid. El autobús para bajar al centro.
Oh, she's got some memory issues. This is like Memento.
El padre de Paula tiene una orden de alejamiento.
I wonder how...
No dejar nunca que Paula se vaya con su padre.
Huh, that is interesting.
I wonder how well that works. Because if you're suffering from dementia, shit just starts falling apart. Like, you need a caretaker.
El plazo de 1 hora que les di ha terminado. Necesito saber si van a rendirse.
They're not going to address that gunshot. I don't know how they didn't hear that.
Unos hacían de policías y tenían que pillar a los otros. Y cuando te pillaban, te pillaban. Pero no recuerdo a un solo niño en todo aquel patio que se rindiera antes de que le cogieran.
Is that the mom?
Mire, tengo un recado de mi hija esta mañana desde este número y yo no...
Hicieron sonar la alarma 2 horas después de haber entrado allí.
Cuando ya habían abierto la cámara corazón.
She's quick. Smart characters on both sides.
Yes.
Espérame ahí.
With his phone?
Yeah, but he could track that phone. She just straight up dipped with his phone.
It's true.
Berlín ha mandado ejecutar a un rehén.
¿Quién ha sido?
Tu hijo.
El ladrón es, por definición, un optimista impenitente.
I guess that's true.
Mi hijo que no tendría que estar aquí. Pero cuando el profesor me propuso el plan, pues lo arrastré conmigo.
You know, it's not often that you see this kind of thing. Usually in movies and shows, parents are trying to keep their kids away from the life of crime.
Yeah.
Y si me sale bien, le voy a llevar a mi hijo a un país donde no sepamos ni pronunciar el no. Y después aquí.
He called his bluff.
That's an old head who's... Ooh, he had to see the proof. Ah. That's got to be heartbreaking.
Has matado a esa mujer. puedo respirar. Papá, ¿qué pasa? No.
Es un ataque de ansiedad. Túmbalo.
In the blood. Oh, man. You think he knew the possibility she was going to get shot in acquiring that phone?
Los disparos que hemos oído.
Did she know? Probably not.
No, did he know? This dude.
Oh, him? Oh, yeah, absolutely. But he still thought, I think he thought she would be successful.
Okay.
Mami, hemos estado en el parque de atracciones, mola un montón.
Oh, we got a Disneyland dad.
Has incumplido una orden de alejamiento. Date la vuelta y ponte contra la pared.
Ya me has jodido la vida. ¿No te vale con esto?
Te he dicho que te des la vuelta y te pongas...
Ahora descansa, papá. Descansa.
My man is all the way indifferent.
aquí, papá.
Damn, them stars are bright, dude. Oh, shit.
Man.
Ah, joder. No podía dormir y he salido a...
Look how big the Big Dipper is on the left. Goodness.
¿Tú sabes por qué dejé la mina?
Pues claro que lo sé. Con la mierda esa que te comía los pulmones. La sínfilis.
Qué bruto eres, cojones.
¿Sabes lo que vamos a hacer tú y yo con los millones? Nos vamos a comprar una isla. Para que te puedas dormir en pelota en mitad de las palmeras. En una cabaña. O tú en una cabaña y yo en otra. Nada de dormir juntos como aquí, que roncan muchísimo.
Le he robado el móvil, le he cacheado, casi le detengo y aún se preocupa por mí.
A ver, y lo del cacheo, pues fue divertido. ¿Qué cree que...?
You think my arm was like this?
He likes
You
her.
look upset. Yeah.
You can't catch feelings, dude. You saw what happened with the team. You can't catch feelings.
This dude catch feelings for her.
If he'd make a tourniquet out of that on the leg, man, like she gonna bleed out.
Was it the legs? Is that where she got shot? It was the leg? Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. And what's funny is, Boy Scouts 101, you never just casually put a tourniquet on.
Really?
Ever. Not a tourniquet.
Really?
You tie it off, but the tourniquet with the stick, yeah, because you're essentially going to have that part amputated once you put a tourniquet on.
So what do you do if someone gets shot?
Well, if you try to get like a regular something, like a belt or something, that would work better. But a tourniquet, the way that it's put on, it cuts off all blood flow. It's what you do if there's absolute nothing else you can do. It's a last-ditch measure. And then you put a T of blood on somebody's head so they can see it. Hey, you shot her right in the thick, meaty part. Ooh, I hate seeing stuff like that when they be digging bullets out of people.
You got to give her something to bite on.
Ugh, stack of money.
Dude, how crazy would that be?
Mejor sacarla que dejarla ahí dentro.
Que no.
That's actually a lie, too.
No pasa nada, que estoy en la tele. Y trozos de cristal y todo. Y no pasa nada.
Vale.
Unless you're going to seek immediate medical attention, you leave the bullet in.
I think taking the bullet out might have been I don't know.
Well, it forces bleeding. You'll bleed out. And that's why you leave the bullet in.
You gotta wash that blood off again.
Ugh.
She likes him.
Oh, yeah, that's happening. Oh, your imagination is always going to be worse. Oh. Who's covering his shift?
Right.
You look at the way she's looking at him. You saw that, right? Them loving eyes.
Jesus. Don't do what I think you're thinking.
The team is unraveling.
Están abriendo las puertas. Atentos todos.
What is he thinking?
The guilt.
Francotiradores.
Suicide by police.
No tenías que estar aquí. No tenías que matar a nadie.
Esperando orden. Luz verde, señor.
Close the door, close the door, close the door.
Déjame salir, no le he matado. Que la tengo escondida.
Facilitarle un teléfono siempre disponible, un guardaespaldas con gafas.
La realidad es que no empieza con un tortazo. Si fuera así, nadie estaría con un hombre violento.
That's true.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah.
Supongo que me dio vergüenza sentarme delante de mi jefe y de golpes.
Professor looks like he wants to mess somebody up.
Yeah. Like, he got that, like, brotherly anger.
El verdadero drama llegó porque va mi hermana y se enamora de él.
Oh my God.
Dang. It just keeps getting worse.
Oh.
Y empezaron a salir y a viajar y...
How do you do that? How do you do that?
Porque no quería que mi hermana se metiera en aquel infierno.
Damn. And she still tried to save her sister.
Y fue parecer una celosa patológica poniendo una denuncia falsa. Y mira, la inspectora no lo denuncia a tiempo y lo denuncia ahora que está con la hermana, ¿no?
Raquel, yo he sentido ahora mismo la emoción y la impotencia. Debe haber alguien que pueda ayudarla.
¿Alguien? ¿Quién me va a ayudar?
Perdóneme, no sé de qué forma podría ayudarla, pero...
Don't. Oh man. I cannot tell how genuine he's being or if this is part of a master plan, dude. I can't tell. If this is part of his plan, this is too genius and so diabolical, even for me. I just... Dude.
Yeah, because he looks like he's legitimately feeling something, right?
I'll get back to work.
He gonna be upset at the clusterfuck that has been laid before him.
Los leones mientras aprovechan para salir por otro lado.
Vamos a salir ahí fuera por humanidad. Porque un compañero nuestro necesita respirar y no te lo voy a repetir otra vez.
You notice how he has no remorse at all?
Ya nadie está dispuesto a hacer nada por nadie, ¿no? A un compañero le da un ataque de ansiedad y vosotros no hacéis otra que pensar en la del cebo.
He's giving them a speech like, what does the world come to? Are you kidding me? Come on, dude.
Ahora levanta la mano izquierda si vas a seguir tocándome los cojones. Si vas a mantener la boca cerrada, levanta la mano derecha.
Which one's my left? Which one's my right?
Right? Hey, can you repeat the question?
Salías al balcón para intentar hacerlo cada noche. Así que le pese a quien le pese, vas a salir ahí fuera.
I don't know about you, man, but his tonality is making me more anxious. Like, I am having a harder time breathing. And he's like, you gotta relax. I'm like, damn, I don't feel relaxed the way you're talking at me.
Big facts.
Son un grupo numeroso. Siguen caminando por la azotea.
Avanzan hacia el borde de la azotea.
What is going on in there?
Right?
¿Qué está pasando? ¿Por qué están en la azotea?
Moscú ha salido a respirar aire fresco, flanqueado por rehenes con armas falsas. Como bien sabes, jamás hubiera permitido esta locura, pero ahora mismo mis compañeros me están convenciendo de que es una buena idea.
Eh? They got guns trained on it.
Solo teníais que hacer una cosa. Ser profesionales.
He ain't wrong.
Me ordenó que la matara y tuve que pegarle un tiro. No podía hacer otra cosa.
Móvil de Mónica. Estáis hablando de Mónica.
That scared look on their face.
I know, right? He's fixing to get shot.
That's smart. That's smart. They're pretending like his gun is for real.
Solicito instrucciones, señor.
Necesito autorización.
They're gonna shoot the wrong guy.
Wow.
Blanco abatido. Tenemos visual. Es el director de la fábrica, coño. Arturo Román. ¡Alto el fuego! Control 3. Alto el fuego. A todas las unidades.
Now you authorized that shit, and you gotta live with those consequences.
We shot a hostage.
You gotta live with those consequences.
Ugh,
That's not gonna go well.
Yeah.
Your profile, that's kind of down the toilet now.
Look what you done did. Ooh wee. And you know, the big thing is they were trying to get public sentiment on their side too, so that's just really helping them out. And that part of the thing is all a part of the plan. You know, if you're gonna wear those kind of costumes, you'd have to think that the professor was planning for one of the hostages for a friendly fire. That's what it is.
This show is doing a good job of planting all these seeds, yo. I can't even imagine how that's gonna play out in the next episode. Like that's she's in some, if she wasn't in deep shit already, it's sure gonna smell like feces in the next episode for her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, now you swimming in it. Come on, it's bad.
Her goose is all the way cooked. And based off of the notes that we saw when the mother came and opened up the wardrobe and we saw the post-it notes, how far is she from, you know, being cracked in a sense? You know,
she's
like
she got it rough.
Marbles.
She got it rough. No, you sent me something the other day that was really interesting about dating over a certain age, and it's just like,
yeah,
you know, there's
those.
Everybody's got their baggage, you know. And shit, she's got baggage. I remember the first time like I encountered baggage, and I was like, whoa, like this is real shit. You know? And it's like, that's just the first one. The moment you date one person with baggage, that's just the first of many. And you're like, well, this is just it from here on out. They all got baggage. Here's our homie, Professor, falling in love with the baggage. And I'm like, no, man, come on. You're not gonna save her.
Is he? That's the thing. It's like, because while she's telling him in each iteration of, you know, first he was talking trash to me out loud, and then he hit me the first time, and the second time you could just see it, just like he's just getting more and more angry. It felt like that kind of anger you'd feel from protecting a relative or a loved one or something like that. So, but then again, that could be a feint. You know, it could be one of them, I'm just playing this so I can really trick this chick.
I apologize to everybody in advance who might be offended by what I'm about to share, but I was instructed a long time ago by someone who told me, don't be Captain Save-A-Ho. Like, just don't. It gets you in a world of hurt. Like, just, you gotta pump those brakes. I can't even figure out what I am feeling. Like, do I want him to actually be angry and want to go do something to this guy who was abusive? Or do I want it to be that he's just pretending and it's all part of the master plan? I don't know what I want. The writing is so epic because I have no idea what I want for this character right now. You know? Because, like, I know what I would do. I would want to protect her. I would get suckered in by the pitch. You know what I'm saying? Come save me. Okay. I'll do it.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I can do it. And he's holding his hands, looking into her eyes longingly. Were you expecting Moscow to be one of the first to kind of crack? Like full blown, like really crack?
No, not at all.
I didn't see that coming, man. I didn't see that either. And the whole claustrophobia thing, I didn't see that coming at all either. I thought that was a little interesting. But, you know, I mean, we're here now.
It explains why he wasn't necessarily drilling. He was ordering other people to drill in his stead. Right. And that makes sense because that's some kind of trauma going on. And I get that. You know, my father was claustrophobic too. And when you see someone act in accordance with that claustrophobia, that shit is real. Like, you see fear in that person. I don't know what to make of it. I don't even know how to articulate that. I've never had to talk to anyone about it. Like, I've never really shared that with anybody before. So here you guys are finding it out. I watched my dad get claustrophobic about something and how uncomfortable he got. He just got real silent, real quick. He's like, I'm just gonna ride this shit out and we'll be all right. So it was on, I distinctly remember it too, just so I'm not keeping y'all hanging. Like, it was on the Back to the Future ride. For whatever reason, like, the only seat the person managing the ride wanted to give him was in this fucked up spot. And he's like, I can't, like, he's like, look, do you want to ride or not? He's like, all right, fine. So he gets on the ride because he's got to supervise us. He gets on the ride and he's just like, something ain't right. Like, this spot ain't right for me and my survival. So, I think that having claustrophobia ties into anxiety. That all feels very real to me, at least more real than the stars.
Yeah. That's kind of like a little bit of a glitch in the Matrix regarding that. It was a little off.
You said something very important, which is your imagination is so much stronger than reality. It's really frightening how that works, and it's got to have something to do with survival. Why your brain works that way. He imagined the worst possible thing, and it was like playing in his rote memory. He's like, oh fuck, like I'm done. He just felt so awful. He felt guilty.
Yeah, and then it's somebody that you love, and then there's that guilt. You do have to feel a little guilty because you already know your son is in important to you and you wanted his best interest, and you kind of indirectly put him in that situation that, as far as he believed, allowed him to do this heinous act that he didn't do, but you're still, of course you're gonna kind of feel that guilt. It's like, damn, this is kind of on me.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, they're planting a lot of seeds because our girl who got shot in the leg, Monica Gaztambide.
Monica, yeah, that's right, Monica, that's what her name was.
She's fallen in love with the hostage. She's having, I guess, what is a
Stockholm syndrome kind of thing.
That's what I was looking for. Yeah, she's having straight up Stockholm syndrome. So she's having Stockholm syndrome, and then the professor's falling in love with hostage negotiator. The wheels are falling off the wagon because everybody's like turning on each other. It's, like shit is hitting the fan. Yeah, they're setting up a lot of things that are going to play itself out in the next episodes, and so it's done in such a way that, like you mentioned, 24 in the previous conversation, which is a great comparison because it has me wanting to throw everything else I have to do tonight to the to the side and just keep on watching. Like, I don't give a shit about anything else. I just got to see what happens next.
Yeah, it's great on that end because everybody's still stepping up. And just when you think that you're going to get too much of one particular character, they kind of like shift things. They shift and change directions. Because I was starting to get just not tired of Tokyo. I still like Tokyo. I think she's still an interesting character. But I was starting to get a little more interested in like, okay, I'm wondering what everybody else's stories are going to be. And they gave me that in this episode. They failed. They pushed Tokyo kind of like off to the side a little bit. And Tokyo and Rio pushed them kind of off to the side and kind of brought up some other ideas.
I am concerned about that, if I'm being honest. We were introduced into this world through Tokyo's eyes, and I'm finding as the show goes along, I'm not against her, but I'm also not rooting for her because some of the moves she's making are the most incompetent in the entire show. And it's kind of wild because, one of the rules of screenplay writing is you want your main character to be competent. And it's interesting because you have all these surrounding characters that are very competent and very smart about what they're doing. Even the father, like you mentioned in the first episode when he's like, look, we're not smart. These people are. If they can figure it out, we will just ride their coattails out of here. Our hostage negotiator figured out what was going on, and she was like, oh, I see this. So this is like what's happening in blah, blah, blah. The professor was like one step ahead in this area. I'm like, okay, so everybody's smart except for Tokyo.
Yeah. She got caught up in feelings, man.
Yeah.
And just the irrationality of emotion sometimes. It is kind of diminishing to her character. I understand that you want to have like a human element and a human moment, but what you're saying, it's like you're going to really just throw everything out. You're going to send us all to jail and risk being shot because of this one particular moment. It was really childish, and maybe I'm just looking at it through my man eyes, and I can sign off on that. And maybe I have to admit that maybe I don't see the deeper reasoning and the understanding of that emotional outburst, but none of that makes sense to me. I don't understand why you would jeopardize everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Maybe you just throw a car door open because you're not feeling right. We'll bring it back to that. I would have liked it more. I think what it is that while I'm not rooting against her, I am losing respect for her. Outside of closing that door in this episode, I haven't seen her do another smart thing. I would have respected her more in the previous episode, I think it was, when they were having when she was having that altercation with Rio. If she was trying to talk him off out of the conversation completely and be like, look, I understand how you're feeling. We have a job going right now. You need to keep your eye on that girl right there. If she was trying to redirect in a way that it fit the master plan, I would have had more respect, but everything she is doing seems wildly stupid. Like shooting the cameras, telling off Berlin right in front of everybody. I'm like, dude, is you stupid? Like,
I'm like, why would you do that? Because Berlin is right. You don't want to undermine your power.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you doing this in front of people?
I can't understand what she's thinking. I'm lost as far as she goes. And so if they killed her off at this point, I can't say that I would feel supremely bad. I know that they don't. She's a main character. I think she's in the entire show, but they got to win me back with her. I'm feeling more for everybody else as it is right now.
Yeah, I think right now I like Denver as far as like my favorite watchable character. Because Berlin, I don't get me wrong, Berlin is still top notch. Yeah. It kind of goes without saying. But he's having to give up some of his power, make some of these other characters a little bit better. Moscow making those decisions. I'm still okay with it. The Serbian brothers are absolutely just, they might as well be movable furniture.
They're just muscle,
yeah, they're just muscle for now. And now I'm not even expecting a backstory on them. If we get one, it'll be cool. Denver seems to be a little bit more interesting. And then that whole situation, how you're gonna hide somebody in another bank vault, that's a really big secret to keep. I don't know how that plays out. The negotiators. We got a whole new character with her abusive ex-husband being brought in, showing his face, and was pretty much throwing it in her face like, you can't stop me. So that's a whole other kind of wild card. I'm sure that's going to be a part of the love triangle between those two and the professor.
I'm glad you brought them up, actually, because initially I was getting frustrated by that angle of the story. I'm like, why are we spending time on this extra element in here? It's starting to feel like filler moments in 24 a little bit. Like, why do I need to focus on this? Why does this element need to exist in this story, which is dope? And then it came back around to the professor getting involved in that dialogue. I'm like, oh, I see where this is headed. Now this is serving a purpose in the greater story here because it's affecting the professor. Now, you were unsure, and I was unsure about like what he's actually feeling. I think it's pretty clear he's got feelings for her, at least a little bit, or he respects her, or he cares about her, because when he was on the phone with her as the professor again, you could see something in his eyes, in his voice, like the way he hung up the phone, the way he handled the call. He felt for her. I don't know how to quantify that or qualify it. It's just like, other than what I've said, it's like, it just seems to me that he's fallen for her. And there was something in that moment where it's like, you have no idea that I'm this dude. You know?
Yeah.
Y'all, thanks so much for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and vote this up to let YouTube know you enjoyed what you watched this. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching this on Patreon, thanks so much for supporting us here. And make sure to follow SYNTELL with the Intel on his YouTube channel, youtube.com/SYNTELL. Thanks so much for hanging out. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is...
Yo, it's your boy SYNTELL.
Peace out.